So, yeah, today, couple of things. First thing is no quiz this week. I don't think we're ready for it. I think we should be ready for it, but I don't think we physically are ready for it. Or I should say, mentally ready for it. Yeah. Okay? So, no quiz this week. However, there will be a formative. Okay? There will be a formative on Star Wars Day. So yeah, we'll get that going. Okay? Alright? Yeah, that's all I got for you right now. Okay? So, yesterday, we did some completing the square type stuff. Okay? And then, at the end of class, we did a problem like this. And we said, find me the key points, identify the conic, all that fun stuff. Today, I'm going to say graph it. Okay? Now, you probably have a piece of graph paper somewhere in your notes that's got 1 or 2 or 3 graphs on it yet. If so, use that. If you don't have it, and I'm out in my basket, so then just draw a sketch next to it. I'm fine with that. Okay? It's actually probably better if you draw it with a sketch. Okay? With that being said, these problems take up space. They're gonna take space. Okay? So you need to let them breathe. You need to let them have the space that they need. Phew, excuse me. So before we get going, we should probably decide what kind of a conic it is. What kind of a conic is this? What kind of a conic is this? Ellipse. Why do you think it's an ellipse? Okay, so it's got 2 squared terms, so that eliminates parabola. It's got a plus sign, so that eliminates hyperbola. And then so that leaves ellipse or circle. And you're saying ellipse. MSA is saying circle. 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 Uh-oh, you're the only one. What do I look at to determine circles and ellipses? It's a C word. And it's very efficient. Coefficients, okay? So what are the coefficients on the squared terms? 1s, and in this case they're the same. So therefore that makes it a circle. Okay? Alright, so it's a circle. Alright, we know that. So now let's complete the square on it. So I would first rewrite this as x squared plus 16x plus y squared minus 10y equals, and I'm going to move that 8 over to the other side. Add 8 to both sides, and it gives me 11. Agreed? Okay. Now I'm going to look at my x's, and I'm going to say, well, what's the b value in my x's? The b value for the x's? Just 16, right? So the b value is just 16. Then I divide it by 2. So 16 divided by 2 would be 8. Then I square that. So this gap gets filled with 64. But now what have I done? Created an imbalance, so to make it back into balance, I add 64 over here. Okay. Then I look at my y's. What's the b value for my y? Negative 10. What's b divided by 2 then? Anybody? Negative 5. That squared. 25. So this gap gets filled with 25. But again, I've created an imbalance, so I've got to add 25 to the other side. Okay. So now my x's can factor down to be quantity x plus 8 squared. Right? My y's can factor down to be y minus 5 quantity squared. And the right side of my equation is 100. Which is the standard form of our circle, right? So now we can go through and we can graph it. So the center of my circle is where? Negative 8 comma 5. So I go 2, 4, 6, 8 to the left and 2, 4, 5 up from there. What is the radius of my circle? 10, so I'm going to go out 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, somewhere down there. Luckily for me, I got one of those, which then allows me to make it there and make it there. Okay. Handle? Questions? Try that one. Graph it. So it is an ellipse, two square terms, addition sign, differing coefficients. Okay? So 4x squared minus 48x plus y squared minus 14y equals negative 189. Agree with spacing once. Okay? But I got to factor out a 4 here first. Yeah? Okay? So b value for the x's is going to be negative 12. Divided by 2 is going to be negative 6. Square it is going to be 36. Agree with that? So that means I'm adding 36 in that gap, but really I'm adding 144 to the left side, so I need to add 144 there. Y's now, b value is negative 14. B over 2 is then going to be negative 7. B over 2 squared is going to be 49. So I'm adding 49 there, which means I got to add 49 to the right side. Okay. So that gives me 4 times the quantity x minus 6 squared plus the quantity y minus 7 squared equals, I think it's 4. Okay. We said this was an ellipse. Ellipses are equal to what? Equal to 1. So I need to divide everything by 4. So that gives me x minus 6 all over 1. Oops, that should be squared. Plus y minus 7 all over 4 equals 1. So we can graph that now. Where is the center of that ellipse? 6, 7. 2 and 4 and 6 to the right. 2 and 4 and 6 and 7 up. Left and right from the center, how many do I go? 1. Up and down from the center, how many do I go? 2. Which axis is majored then? Vertical or horizontal? Vertical, because it's longer. So that means that the vertices are the end points of that major axis. So that would be at 6, 9 and 6, 5. Agree? We can now draw it in. And then lastly, we need to find our foci. The equation is c squared is equal to the absolute value of a squared minus b squared. So that's going to be the absolute value of 1 minus 4, which is 3. So then c would be the square root of 3. Because it's stretched out vertical, or our major axis is vertical, our foci then are at 6. I go back to my center. 6 would be, I would add and subtract it if it was horizontal, but because it's vertical, I add and subtract it to the y part. So that puts them, if I were to graph them, it's like 1.7 up and down. Okay. Questions on that one? That one next. Yeah, let's do that one. Spot check. What kind of a conic is it? Hyperbola. Okay, because it's got 2 square terms, and there's a subtraction sign in between them, right? Okay. All right. So second spot check is, let's complete the square on this thing. So 6x squared minus 96x space minus 9y squared plus 36y space equals 36. Agree? Okay. Got to factor out a 9, no, excuse me, 16 out of the x's. And that leaves me with that. Yes? What am I going to factor out of the y's? What? Negative 9. Now, if I factor out a negative 9, that leaves me with y squared. Then what? Minus 4x. Because I'm or minus 4y, I should say. Because I'm factoring out a negative number. If I check this with distributing, I get negative 9y squared, which is what I want, and I get positive 36y. Okay? So that was a kicker. Okay? Now, my b value for the x's is negative 6, which means that divided by 2 is negative 3, which means that squared is positive 9. So really I have to add 144 to the other side. My b value for the y's is negative 4. That divided by 2 is negative 2. That squared is positive 4. So I'm adding 4 in there, but really, what am I adding to the left side? I'm really adding negative 36. So I need to add negative 36 to the right side. So then this becomes 16 times the quantity x minus 3 squared minus 9 times the quantity y minus 2 squared is equal to 144. Hyperbolas are equal to what? 1. So I need to divide everything by 144. So that gives me x minus 3 quantity squared over 9 minus y minus 2 quantity squared over 16 equals 1. Okay? I'll give you a couple of seconds to finish up your graphs. Center of the hyperbola. 3, 2. A value. Three, so I go left and right 3. B value 4, so I go up and down 4. See ya. So there's my box. Does it open left and right, or does it open up and down? Left and right, because it's x squared. Okay? Or x squared comes first, I should say. Okay? So that puts my vertices here and there. So that's at 0, 2 and 6, 2. Yes? Okay. Equation for foci. A squared plus b squared. So that's going to be 9 plus 16, which is 25. So C then is 5. So I got a focus there and a focus there, which means that my foci are at -2, 2 and 8, 2. Yes? Slope of my asymptotes. What is the slope of my asymptotes? Plus and minus b over a, right? Which is 4 over 3. Did we luck out with nice asymptotes? Yeah? Because we got a side of the box on the y-axis. So y equals positive 4/3 x. That's this bottom one going up there through -2. So that's 4/3 x minus 2. And then we've got y equals -4/3 x plus 6, the top one going down. Okay? Love it. Excited to be part of it. Yeah? Okay. So, the homework that I handed out, worksheet 9.6, that thing is due Monday, but don't worry about this part. Oops, I got to get rid of this because we changed this up. That needs to go away. Be gone. Because we're not going to have a quiz tomorrow now. And then we can get rid of this. Because now we don't have to do it by tomorrow. And it's due Monday.